Okay.
Hey. So what's up, guys? I'm WoLfy.
And I'm Pedrogas.
I'm Jangus. Fuck it.
I'm Byron.
And this is going to be Halo Reach Co-op.
On Legendary.
Yeah, the time starts after I skip this cutscene, so... It's going to be right around now.
Shoot down attempts are likely. Keep your distance.
Yes, sir.
Nice Spanish game. Thanks. Yeah, like I'm used to Spanish things. So let's go.
So yeah, as Pedro said, it's in Spanish. That's important because Pedro's always played in Spanish, and there is bits of dialogue that are important because he only knows the Spanish dialogue. That's of course what he needs. Halo Reach, 46.5 seconds of nothing for the start, waiting for the Falcon to drop you off. After that, it's a couple minutes of movement. After the movement, you'll see some enemies. There's a cool trick, cool out of bounds. But until then, it's just some good running. So one thing you'll see at the start, as soon as I get out, is slide jumping. Slide jumping is something that's in every Halo game, where if you just land on an angle and jump, you kind of preserve the momentum that you would get from the angle. You just go a bit faster. So that saves a couple seconds at that start bit, and it's used throughout the run whenever they can. Right here, there's a barrier that keeps him in the map, but Pedro's going to jump off WoLfy's head to go over the barrier. So that's technically the first out of bounds, what, a minute in the run? Before going straight back inbounds. The movement at the start here, it looks easy, it's a little bit tricky because you can slide off those rocks really easily, and because you want to keep jumping, you can accidentally slide jump off those rocks and then just fly straight off. Now you'll see Pedro floating. This is a barrier that's meant to stop you going on top of the building, but it's a huge box, it covers the whole building, so we can just float along it. It saves going through the building, which is like 10 seconds, but what's more important is it skips some triggers. So for this beginning bit, there'll be hidden triggers backwards. So Pedro right there, he got a weapon, the plasma pistol, and the plasma pistol has a great effect. It can EMP vehicles. And as you saw, shoot that EMP, spawn that Falcon. As soon as it spawns, EMP'd immediately. But this vehicle, yeah, literally. This vehicle, you're not meant to fly this until the 7th mission, or pilot it at least. So flying this vehicle this early, it's kind of crazy. It was one of the first big glitches found out when this game was released in 2010. So with this, they're just gonna fly over every enemy. One thing that's important with this Falcon is you're invincible in it. Unless you fly like head on into something, you won't die. Which is important because they're on Legendary, they're gonna get killed a lot. So with this bit of the mission, they're gonna be going to hit a couple triggers. There is 2 Marine groups you need to save. So WoLfy's gonna go to one of the Marine groups. Yeah. And he's gonna hang out. And with this, there's gonna be some spirits come down. There's like a couple spirits. You're meant to kill them, and then the Falcon will come pick you up. The problem with that is the Falcon that picks you up, you're already in it. So that Falcon can't pick you up.
So why is David positioning himself in that location?
Okay, WoLfy was kind of near the spirit, because if you go too far away, it flies a weird path, and we want to use the path that it flies to clip out of bounds. Because every map is like stuck, well, you're stuck in like barriers, but like weird soft barriers, they're not like solid walls. They're just kind of soft barriers. So he's gonna get stuck in this spirit. From Pedro's screen, you can see it easier. WoLfy's gonna take a bit of damage, most likely. Yeah. But thankfully, because we're invincible, and he's clipped out of bounds, there's a big sequence break in the game. Don't have to do any of the first combat. And thankfully, we can just load the next part of the mission, the outpost. Now, the outpost, there's meant to be a couple bits of wave fighting. There's 3 spirits that come down in total. You kill all the enemies. Your teammates will shut the door, open the next door. You continue with the mission. But they're the only enemies from here we're actually going to kill. Because WoLfy is still out of bounds in this Falcon, he's going to load the other area where he got the Falcon first, which deloads the outpost where Pedro's at right now. and we'll teleport him, because that area doesn't exist. And then they're gonna reload the outpost, and when they do that, you just don't have to kill any enemies. Like, I'm not too sure why, no one knows why, it works, and that's what's important. That's all we care about. If it works, it works. So it's gonna wait for this spirit to spawn, that's the second spirit, and then it will hit the load for the outpost, fly back in, and you don't have to kill any of the enemies. So Pedro stand on top of his falcon, because there's a small chance that WoLfy can get stuck inside the falcon, which didn't happen. Getting stuck inside that falcon's really unfortunate, and that can kill solo runs really easily. So you can also see on WoLfy's screen, there's a big hole to the void, where there's meant to be a door. So they're gonna wait for their teammate to close the door.
Just about there. We're in.
And with that dialogue, the door that she closes doesn't close. And there's a death barrier outside, kills everything. And this room appears out of nowhere. Nice. So that's the first part of the mission. The second part of the mission, it doesn't take very long. But this is the action, this is where you start shooting. It's Halo, it takes 6 minutes to start shooting enemies.
This is where the Zealot was located, correct?
Yeah. So this enemy they're shooting at is an elite zealot. Unfortunately, it just ran away, which is really unlucky.
Why is that?
He doesn't like it. I don't know. The zealot's the second strongest elite type in the game. And there's 3 of them in this area. They wanted to kill that one as soon as they could, to only have 2 to deal with afterwards. Ooh. So yeah, one other thing with that plasma pistol is this EMP, it does take down enemy shields immediately. So they can use that. There's one more zealot. That sword will one-shot on Legendary, and that's the last zealot. That weapon that he has is a concussion rifle. We'll be seeing that later on, and that's the end of the first level. We have time for like 1 donation if you want.
Yeah, we have a donation from Delca MX. Hi, Pedro. Nice to finally see you on AGDQ. I can't wait to see a world record on stream today. Cheers from the Mexican speedrun community. We are all watching you and are very proud of you.
Awesome, thank you. So this level, second level, is only sword base. It's not a really long level, but there's a lot of combat. So this first bit, before they can continue to the next area of the mission, they need to kill every enemy. So Pedro and WoLfy, they've split up. They're picking off different enemies. WoLfy's mainly focusing, like he's down there trying to EMP the elites, get their shields down. Pedro's at top, so if he can't see the enemies, he can hopefully pop them, like just get a headshot. There's a couple more elites, there's some jackals, there's some grunts, and there's 4 skirmishers down there. We've only got the skirmishers left. Okay, that was a really good clear.
Yeah.
So where that green marker is, that's the target locator. That weapon, that's the only time you'll see the weapon in the whole run. And that's not by choice, that's just because it's only here in the whole game. They added something once and they never used it again. So with a target locator, what it does is it calls an airstrike. 7 missiles come down and just obliterate anything. And we use it twice on Legendary. So it looks a bit weird that WoLfy is running forward and Pedro's kind of like lagging behind. But with this level, there's a lot of backtracking. So there's 2 objectives to do, 3 buttons to press. WoLfy's gonna go press all them. And Pedro's gonna be waiting to just go back to where you're meant to go. So WoLfy's getting the ghost. He'll target locate the enemies. Because there's a lot of enemies, a few elites. Stuff that will kill him in like nothing, because it is legendary. And then this button, I don't know if you saw the prompt in the top right corner of the screen, but you can press that button through the wall. Every button on this level, you can press through the wall. It's a really weird oversight that Bungie left in. So right now, WoLfy's driving to the second part, where the other 2 buttons are. And that movement he just did was kind of tricky. Those ghosts, if you're not like kind of perfect with it, they'll melt you, and that's it, you're gone. So this button, you press through the wall. Oh, you didn't press the AA gun. That's tough. So we saw the prompt, but WoLfy didn't press X at the right time to activate the button, which isn't a huge time frame. But yeah, he's got it this time. Oh, man, that's rough. That thing that's shooting him, that Phantom, or the Spirit, rather, the gun it has, it kills you in like 2 shots on Legendary. It's really tough. Unfortunately, because he missed the button, it was a lot tougher, because you'll just use the target locator, then there's no enemies, and then you can just go there for free. So getting that without a lot of enemies shooting at him is kind of lucky. So if he's gonna go press, doing this driving again.
Head to Farragut Station and get that comms array up and running.
That's nice.
Yeah.
So if he's gonna go press 2 more buttons, the first is a lever through the wall, and then the second is a button through the ceiling. And then he'll teleport back to Pedro. He's also gonna pick up rocket launchers, and one thing I completely forgot about, Pedro now has a rocket launcher as well, because there are 2 hunters on this level, and hunters, if you're not familiar with it, they're really big, they're really armored, they take a lot to take down. So WoLfy will press that button and teleport immediately. Now we have like 15 seconds or so until the gate opens. After that is another airstrike, and then they'll go for the hunters, and after the hunters, they go in the elevator. So until then, we can have a couple more donations if you want, because they're just going to be running.
Right. Sure, we have $117 from Clerical Eric. Spartans never die, save the frames, and this is my apology. Oh, there's a lot of war, and I'm not a good elite. I'm sorry, I never made it to that level. We also have $5 from Usario. Greetings from Mexico. Pedro, I hope you are having fun and we want to see that world record. If Pedro says, hi, I'm Goku in Spanish, I'll double the donation.
Oh.
Hi, I'm Goku.
So with those hunters, they're the only 2 enemies you have to kill in this area, so we can leave those grunts and that elite alive. To get in the elevator, all you need to do is kill those hunters. Now, it looked like WoLfy's just a horrible person punching Pedro repeatedly. But there's a trick in the next area where you overload. It's an overload. And these bodies in the elevator help overload this next area. Not by much, but it's enough to, like, help. So, what WoLfy's doing is he'll be going straight forward, and Pedro would have got the oh, that was unfortunate. So Pedro's going to want to get the concussion rifle that we saw on the first level. And with that, they can do some jumps. So the concussion rifle, it's like a grenade launcher, but it explodes on impact, and it's really weak. So they can use that to, like, if they shoot the wall and jump, then they get like 5 times the height just from jumping and shooting. Fortunately, I only had 1 body in there because one of the bodies clipped through the floor, which is because the elevator's moving, it just does. It's weird physics. So Pedro's going to do some concussion jumps to get to the top. And WoLfy, that's unfortunate. WoLfy would have wanted to hit the load to spawn the enemies. And when he spawns the enemies, that helps with the overload. So with the overload, you wouldn't want to kill anyone, you wouldn't want anyone to die. But the longer you leave it, the Marines and your Noble team, your teammates, they will be shooting enemies, killing them, which doesn't help with the overload. So, unfortunately, we didn't really get a good overload. That Phantom that you can see, on pretty much any overload, that Phantom wouldn't spawn. So the Phantom just takes the longest to kill, and he also drops off 2 elites, which they dealt with really quickly. But that Phantom can't die until it goes back out. So about now it can die. I think Pedro shot himself.
He did. He definitely did.
So to end this level, they just need every enemy in this area to die. So that Phantom, the elites, the Banshees, which is why they're clearing them out. After all these die, that'll be the end of the level. sometimes the Banshees can get stuck out of bounds, and it's effectively a soft lock. Because if you spend too long looking for them, you get a checkpoint every 2 minutes in this area. And if you get too many checkpoints, then you just have to restart, which would be unfortunate.
Orbital defense is standing by to take the shot.
And that's the end of Oni Sword Base. We have time for one more donation while this level loads.
We have a $34.30 donation from Super Crash Bug. What up, AGDQ? I always love donating to this awesome cause every year, and I love it even more when I can do it during a Halo game speedrun.
It's awesome, thank you. So Nightfall is by far the shortest level in this game. Usually takes around 4 minutes, like at most. At the start, I don't know if you saw it too well, but WoLfy jumped off Pedrogas' head just to skip like 5 seconds of walking. It's really lazy, but it works. And WoLfy will be going for a grenade jump, which on Legendary is really risky. Because one grenade and that beam that shot Pedro will just kill you. Fortunately, he didn't get it. I think it's because he had the focus rifle, and if you take a little bit of damage and then a grenade, it would kill you. So I'm going for it again. This grenade jump, it's like a little bit of walking that it saves. But the alternative path, if you take that, there's a lot of enemies that can shoot you. And if you do the grenade jump on the roof, there's like 1 or 2 enemies that can shoot you. That's unfortunate again. That was close. So yeah, where WoLfy's going now, got lucky. There was a elite with a concussion rifle, one shot of that would have killed him. Now, this is probably the toughest area in the level, which you just want to shoot that elite and grunt on the turret, and pray you don't get shot. On co-op, it's easier because your teammate spawns on you, like halfway through running. So it's almost guaranteed. If the enemies are really bad, then then you can both die. As with a target locator on the other level, these are gooters. These are the only time you see them. Again, not by choice. They included them and then they forgot about them or something. Or they didn't like them, I don't know. What you see both of them do now is they'll be blowing themselves up, which looks a bit weird and you might wonder why. But you see after one runs out of sprint, the other one would want to respawn, because then you respawn a full sprint. And it just saves a little bit of time. So now WoLfy's got the nades to hopefully respawn on Pedro when his sprint's out. And then he can jump up. Pedro dies. WoLfy does the run-in. One important thing on this level is the thing they've just like kind of avoided and they skirted around. That's a side objective in a sense, which Halo doesn't really have side objectives. In Halo 1, there's like on the second level of Halo, where you can either save your Marines or in the speeder and they kill them because it's quicker. It's kind of similar to that, where there's some rebels there, and you can either save them and have a bunch of wave fighting, or you can fail it and let them die. So you just run past them, and that counts as you failing it, but it's a lot faster. Okay, what they're doing now, they're setting up for a checkpoint. WoLfy mentioned this in the interview, I believe, just before the run. The armor ability they've just picked up, is armor lock. And what it does is it makes like it squishes them. It makes like a sandwich, you know, to launch them over the gap. It doesn't save like a lot of time. That's the wrong way, guys. It doesn't save a lot of time, but it does look really cool. It's unfortunate again. That's it. No!
Nope, he got it.
That's it. No! I swear in practice, there was like every third or fourth try. Okay.
So what just happened? Explain why was that gasp there?
So Halo has a mechanic called checkpoint reverting or double reverting, where if you die too many times too quickly, you'll get sent back not 1, but 2 checkpoints.
That's right. I remember that way back in Halo 2.
Yeah, it can be rough. But sometimes it's meant to like save people, like the more casual people playing. If they get a bad checkpoint, then it sets them back a bit more.
It's definitely happened to me before on, what was it, one of the missions with the Scorpion. I happened to fall through a hole right before a checkpoint, and I just kept dying over and over and over again, and eventually sent me back to the previous checkpoint before that. So that has helped me.
It can help. I don't think it was in Classic Halo 1. But yeah, they've just had to retrace the steps. Thankfully, this is a really short mission where there's not any fighting like required, really. So it wasn't too bad. Okay, they're not gonna go for it. Yeah, you kind of saw it twice, the launch. It looks really cool if they can get it. And we're coming up to everyone's favorite vehicle. That's not an opinion, that's a fact. Everyone's favorite vehicle, the forklift. This bad boy can send you through any wall with a gap, which isn't many. But this gate, it's a kind of precise lineup, and Pedro got it first try. That's really good. So clipping through that gate, it saves a lot of fighting. There's going to be hunters, waves of enemies, just a whole lot you don't want to deal with, especially on Legendary. And because you clip through that gate, none of the enemies in this area have spawned. So it's just more running until the end of the level, which thankfully the trigger is loaded, so you can just hit the trigger without having to do much else. We have time for a couple more donations until the next level loads as well.
We have a $50 donation from Pedrogas. Halo Reach hype. I don't think I have to plasma repeater myself, but I think we all have the energy sword to gravity hammer the nail in the coffin of cancer.
Oh no.
Down with cancer, and thank you AGDQ for being awesome.
Those were pretty good puns. I give it about a B.
Yeah, that was a solid beat.
I enjoyed reading it. I feel good about those.
So Tip of the Spear, this is a very combat-heavy level. The first thing you noticed WoLfy did was jump off the edge. That's because you spawn with a DMR. Normally you spawn with an assault rifle and grenade launcher, but you want a DMR to help kill the grunts and the shade turrets. It's a lot easier than spamming grenades at them or going up to them. You also notice that Pedro suicided to drop the grenade launcher. So now WoLfy has a DMR and grenade launcher, and Pedro has a assault rifle and DMR. But, right, this mission, there's 2 AA guns that you're meant to take out. This is the first one. Usually with the AA guns, you have to go inside the AA gun, there's a core, you throw a grenade, or you shoot the core a lot, and then it blows up. Instead of doing that, because there's a lot of elites, there's a lot of grunts, there's a lot of death in there, you can use the rocket hog, which was kindly provided at the start of the level, and shoot the gun 8 times with it, and that will blow up the AA gun. That's unlucky. So there's a 2 ghosts. There's a ghost behind them as well. There's 3 ghosts. There's a ghost that's got no one in, which is what I wanted to go for. There's that ghost which killed WoLfy, and there's a ghost which doesn't often, but sometimes it will chase Pedro because he stayed back. And yeah, now that I've done that, there was a 10-second time save with the ghost. If you drive over the bridge before the bridge got dropped, it's kind of tricky. It saves 10 seconds. It just looks cool and it feels cool to get. Next part of the mission is the BXR mining facility. Those zealots from the first level, there's one of those in here. There's a lot of enemies. There's a shade turret out the front, which shoots really fast. Literally like 6 or 7 shots from that will kill you. Legendary can be very punishing. What they're doing, because they don't want to kill all the enemies, is you'll see they're setting up a head jump to hopefully land on a little ledge. That was close. And land on this little ledge. There we go, second try. Land on that ledge. Now he can just run past every enemy that's at the top. That Zealot elite from the first mission is now gonna spawn. Usually, if you make that jump, you miss the trigger to spawn a Zealot. But because he fell, he's had to lose like 10, 15 seconds, and there's the Zealot. Doesn't pose much of a threat if he doesn't look at you, I guess. So that weapon Pedro's picked up, that was one introduced in Reach. It's called the Plasma Launcher. And it's like another grenade launcher, in the sense where you charge it up, you'll shoot 4 plasma grenades, and they home onto the enemies, which will be used soon because there are 2 hunters. So this part, there's kind of a lot going on. But Pedro, he's gonna get on this chain gun warhog, because there's another turret, and guess what? You shoot the top, that will kill it. You don't have to go in. And going into this AA gun spawns drones, and spawning drones are annoying to deal with. And WoLfy's just hijacked a Wraith, which by getting in the turret, and the driver's like, oh, you can't be in my turret, like that doesn't work. So then he gets out, and then you can just steal it, which I don't know why. He's not very smart. So yeah, there's 3 Wraiths in this area. Sometimes they can drive off the edge. If they drive off the edge, you don't have to deal with them. If the one WoLfy has drove off the edge, then I would have to do this whole section without a vehicle. Because the vehicles that they came down with, the Revenant and the Ghost, aren't very effective. They could splatter enemies, but that's about it. And the chain gun warhog Pedro used, it's kind of damaged. It wouldn't last very long. 1 or 2 shots from the hunters would kill it. So WoLfy's got the Wraith to kill the hunters. Pedro has the plasma launcher mentioned earlier. And that's the last hunter. That's the last enemy here, I think. That was a really good clear. That was a very solid clear. Usually with that clear, there can be 1 enemy left alive. There can be 1 enemy left alive, and then the Falcon would come down. But the Hunter was alive, and so was the Phantom that dropped off some grunts. So because there was 2 enemies alive, because the Phantom hadn't despawned yet, it still counted as 2 enemies, even though it was only 1. So it was just quick. So they had to wait. With this Falcon ride, it's a bit of an auto-scroller, but they can die really, really easily. So there'll be sets of enemies. It's identical enemies on both sides. So there's 3 or 4 AA turrets, and like 3 shots, 1 or 2 shots of that will kill you. 3 shots if you're lucky. And if you look on WoLfy's screen as well, some of the turrets, and right now he's aiming at like nothing, but the reticle's red. You kind of have to know where the enemies spawn, or else you just die to them and you get punished. And if 1 person dies to them, there's the enemies on their side, but they won't shoot at the person that's on the other side left alive.
Nice shooting, Spartans. Stay sharp.
So yeah, they're gonna fly into the spire now. We have time for 1 donation, because there's not much going else on.
Yeah, we actually had some puns from Super Crash Bug.
Oh, lovely.
Let's hope this combat against cancer is evolved and we win the wars. It's not a reach to say that the money we will raise is infinite. ODST.
That was still significantly better.
They're getting good, they're getting good.
It's a solid A. So their Falcon, oh, it crashed. That giant shield EMP'd it. Oh, pilot's dead, they're the only ones alive. Surprise, surprise.
Looks like a staging area.
What they're going to do is they need to go to the top of the spire to deactivate that shield that just EMP'd them, so their friends can fly in and pick them up pretty much. So there's a lot of enemies here, there's a lot of snipers. Thankfully, they didn't get shot by them a lot. It's very easy to die there. The snipers would just destroy you. So yeah, they had to find no enemies there. They killed 1 grunt to get a plasma pistol. No, they didn't. He dropped a needler, so they don't have a plasma pistol. That makes this bit tougher, because there's 3 white elites up here. White elites are, they're pretty tough. Like, the weakest one's blue, then it's orange, I think, and then it's white.
Get in there. Take out
So that white elite that WoLfy killed had a concussion rifle. Oh, yeah, 2 of them have concussion rifles. That's really unlucky. That's because the Banshee was shooting at Pedro when it was in the truck. So they didn't get a checkpoint. One thing we probably should mention is checkpoints in Halo, they're already punishing enough. Because you can't be moving, or you can be walking, but you can't be like jumping, you can't be in combat. And that's what you need to do to get a checkpoint. Assuming there's one like that you can trigger, or if you've waited long enough, some of them are on a timer. But on co-op, both players need to be safe. And if one person's dead, you can't get a checkpoint. So it can be tough. It can be punishing. If one person's dead, then no checkpoint. So yeah, at the top, WoLfy's gonna go to the side to get 1 elite. Pedro's gonna get the sword elite, hopefully. Never mind. His melee lunge, like really weird. When they do like a weird walking animation, or at least it seems like if they do like some weird walking animation.
Nice, very
That's
nice.
very nice. Then your lunge won't hit their back properly. Yeah, that's tip of the spear. That's the 4th level done.
So how many more left?
We have 5 levels left. And this next one's by far the longest. Appropriately, it's called Long Night of Solus. Part of the reason it's the longest is because it has 4 minutes and 18 seconds of unskippable cutscene. Bungie really loved this level, and they didn't want to accidentally skip the cutscenes at E3. So they made it unskippable. We have time for a couple donations while this cutscene's playing.
Yeah, we have a 2019 donation from Reed Tiburon. Hey, WoLfy and Pedro, Reed Tiburon here. So happy to see the Halo Runs community still alive and thriving in 2019. The year of Halo will never end. Shouts to the old heads, especially Monopoly and Goat Rope. We built something beautiful, y'all.
Definitely.
We also have a $25 donation from Jobless Eagles saying, "Wor, wor, wor."
It's a good donation message.
And $25 donation from Pyro saying, they go high, we go Halo.
So, Long Night of Solus. There's a set of enemies they have to kill. Not that set. That set's irrelevant. You can run past those. But there's a spirit that's going to drop off some enemies. But there's a elite in a drop pod. So they've both picked up plasma pistols and kept their magnums because they want to overcharge this elite and headshot him basically instantly. That wasn't instant. That might be, that's it. That's good enough. So that skips a lot of fighting. That skip's really hard to do on Legendary, even on co-op. It saves like a minute or so of fighting, or like 40 seconds maybe. It's worth going for, like, all the time. So we're coming up to our second favorite cutscene in the game. Cicada, steal your assassination.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're coming up to our second favorite cutscene in the game, which is the second longest unskippable cutscene. It's about 1.5 minutes. So we have plenty of time for donations while this cutscene plays on.
All right, and they're definitely coming in. So we have $125 from Pro Ace Joker. Hey, yo, boys. WoLfy, I miss you, man. Glad to see you and Pedrogas running, destroying Reach like always. You've both been incredible runners for so long and stay true to Reach runs for even longer. Keep HaloRuns.com alive, my friends. You both deserve this main stage presence, and no doubt you'll make literally 0 mistakes, right? We also have $25 from Failed Gamer. Halo, everyone at AGDQ. I didn't even see that one at first. Had to donate during one of my favorite games, Halo Reach. Big up to all of the runners and staff for putting on another great event. Let's reach that total. We have $10 from Keybot saying, Halo is the game that got me into gaming, so I had to donate here. Also, Reach is the best Halo ever of all time. Donation goes to Octopath Traveler. We have $15 from Ninjara. Longtime watcher and donator here. So excited to be watching this event again. I'd love to see everyone come together to play great games for a great cause. I will donate another $25 if I can get the audience to give a big round of applause to the people behind the scenes, working tech support, and everything else. They worked so hard to give us this fantastic event. And they are awesome. They are awesome people, guys. We have a $50 donation from This Is Truly. Good luck on the run today. Donating today in memory of my son Ian, who was a big Halo fan.
Oh.
And do I have time for one more?
Yeah, you can squeeze one more in.
All right. $30 from Fate of Reality. Halo Reach was the first game my parents pre-ordered for me and my brother. It's my favorite Halo game and one of my favorite games of all time. Glad to see this game get speedrun at GDQ, and I love everything that GDQ does to support charities. Together we can defeat cancer and many more issues together. Can you name at least 10 different helmet types in Halo Reach? Because you'll donate $10 more if you can do that.
Oh, wow. You look at me? Okay.
Well, Recon is one, isn't it?
You got Recon, you got Mark 5B, you got Mark 5, Mark 6,
EOD is one.
EOD, EVA. Are we counting EVA-C, which is Emil's helmet?
I'll count it.
CQB, Gungnir, and Military Police. That's 10.
That's 10.
So this is the space part of the mission, where, yeah, space fighting. So there's this, until the next cutscene, our favorite cutscene, which is the 2-minute one, there's 3 waves of enemies. The first wave's all Banshees, and they're split into 2 groups. So WoLfy's got the first group, and Pedro's got the second group. This looks like a pretty good clear so far. Yeah, that was a really good first wave.
Clear.
That was a really good first wave. Second wave, there's 4 Seraphs. Seraphs are a bit different because you need to shoot them with a machine gun to get their shields down, and then you hit them with your missiles to kill them. You can just keep shooting them, don't fly into each other. You can hit them, you can kill them with a machine gun. It just takes a very long time. So it's definitely best to use missiles.
So are they completely immune to the missiles with their shields?
Yes. Missiles will bounce straight off them and just like disperse out.
Wow.
So you have to use machine gun to take down their shields. This is not a very good second wave. They keep dodging their missiles. So yeah, they're just gonna use the machine gun on that one. Oh no, we've still got the missiles. And the third wave has a mixture of Banshees and the Seraphs. And at the end, there's Phantoms. They want to spawn the Phantoms as soon as possible. They'll do that. They need to kill like every Banshee and like 2 Seraphs, I think it is. And then the Phantoms will trigger. Or they can kill like every Banshee but 1 and 3 Seraphs. It's just like a number they need to kill. So WoLfy's going straight for the Banshees as soon as they spawn. Yeah, kill all of them before they can like do any damage. So what's really important is none of them die in the space section, because before they came here, they picked up weapons that will help them when they get out of the Saber. When they go back on foot, they've picked up weapons that will help them. They've got Phantoms really early on. That's really good. So there's 5 Phantoms that they need to kill, and once they kill these Phantoms, WoLfy is very low. That's intense. Yeah. So once they kill these Phantoms, all the enemies will retreat, and they'll just pick off whatever's at the back. They need all the enemies to either fly away or die. So just picking off the ones at the back, it can be like a second quicker, maybe. There are also a bunch of new Banshees that spawn, so that's why they go straight for them. Not much else going on in this space fight. That was a really good like first space fight. Those first 3 waves. The second wave wasn't like amazing. The first wave was good. The third wave was really good.
Isn't this where the Easter egg is located?
Yeah, so Pedro's shooting it. They're both shooting it. This is 117 because that's Master Chief's. That's his little number. They put that there. And what's funny is we've played this game for so long and we only heard about it from someone else last year. And was like, how have we never noticed that? That was kind of amused us.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is a 2-minute unskippable cutscene. The last one in the game, thankfully. So we have plenty more time for donations again.
And we have plenty more donations.
Awesome.
$50 from Demon's Medal, saying, gotta show the love for Halo Reach. I played Legendary Soul and will always have nightmares about Nightfall. Good luck to the runners. We have $25 from Sleepless Blue. Hey guys, it's your favorite Canadian and walking simulator extraordinaire. Here to wish you the best for the co-op run. I'm still a little hurt about the window jump, but it's all in the name of speed, so I can't be too upset. Good luck to Pedro and WoLfy, and some extra good luck to my boy Jangus on the couch. We have $50 from Brew Chimane. Shout out to this great event, the runners, and everyone else supporting such an awesome cause. Keep up the good work. $20 from TN Dom saying, my wife and I spotted Halo Reach on the schedule at the start of GDQ and couldn't wait to see this run. We've got the pizza in and wish WoLfy and Pedrogas all the best with their run.
Go ahead, Colonel.
Not Brad donated $5 saying, Noble 6 is still live on Reach in a Cave. Also obligatory HaloRuns.com plug.
Oh yeah, HaloRuns.com. Did somebody say HaloRuns.com?
I think somebody said HaloRuns.com.
Understood, Colonel.
What was that, Halo?
I think that was HaloRuns.com.
.com. Okay.
And we have $50 from El Gavino. First time donating during my favorite Halo game. I'm finally financially stable enough to donate to a good cause. So hopefully this earns me my Halo. Sorry, that was a bit of a reach. I think I heard a groan from the audience, and I have headphones on.
So one funny thing about this cutscene and checkpoints was usually you get checkpoints after cutscenes, but there's one runner, Halo dude, when he was playing this level, I believe it was in a full game run. After this cutscene ended, his teammates flew straight into his AI teammates flew into him immediately, killed him, and he had to watch that 2-minute cutscene again, which is really unfortunate for him. So in this area, there's a Corvette. This giant Covenant spaceship just came out of nowhere. There's 4 engines on the back you need to kill, which they've already done. Faster than I can say anything. And there's a lot of Banshees underneath. And once they kill the engines on the back, there'll be even more Seraph spawning. Usually to be safe, you'll like take out the Banshees, or you take like one engine, go for the Banshees underneath, and then you'll go for the Seraphs and the Banshees that escaped, and then you'll take out the rest of the engines. But in the name of speed, and because they're actually pretty good players, they take out the engines immediately, so they have all the enemies from like the start, and all the reinforcements that came in. But there's only 3, 4, 5 left. So the UNSC Savannah, the giant gray ship floating, he is friendly. His guns, they help. But what helps more is just him being there, because he rotates around the Corvette. And one thing the enemies don't seem to notice is like where he is. So a lot of the time they just fly into him and immediately explode. That was a really good second space fight as well. There are turrets on that Corvette which hurt, and they just don't die as well. So it's good avoiding those. So yeah, now they're out their sabers. They've landed, they have the weapons they had at the start because none of them died, which is very important. And there's 6 of these elites in here. The jetpack elites. I know Pedro's got 3. I don't know if WoLfy got one. Yeah, so for the next room to open, they all need to be dead. So that's all 6 dead. And then they'll have WoLfy will have the plasma pistol and sniper, and Pedro will have the plasma pistol and needle rifle. And the needle rifle we haven't seen this run. It's similar to the DMR. It's the Covenant's DMR, but arguably better in a sense. It's weaker, but it has more bullets in the magazine. And if you shoot 3 shots at an unshielded enemy, they explode, and that's like a guaranteed kill. And Pedro's also going to be finding the Engineer, which is an enemy we haven't seen yet. That flying thing, because there's no shields, it died in 3 shots. And the thing the Engineer does is those grunts that have the purple overshield, and the elite WoLfy's watching, the Engineer adds those overshields. So that's definitely priority 1 to take out as soon as you get in this room. Apart from this, it's clearing all the enemies here, so then they can, from the story, is deactivate the shields so teammates can fly in and drop off a bomb. So there's 1 enemy left. Pedro's gonna go for the button. So that's one thing that like makes co-op a fair bit faster than solo, is they can split up and do certain things. Like on the 2nd level when WoLfy went and done all the objectives and Pedro stayed back, it just saves traveling back. And one of them stayed at the button, the other one killed the last enemy. that's where like a fair amount of the time save in this run comes from. So I know I said that the Needle Rifle was arguably better, but they both juggled DMRs to the big door at the front. Because in this level, there's a lot of backtracking. So once they go down here, there'll be a room, clear that, they'll have to come back because their teammates aren't doing so good. Those two elites, they're just busy, like blasting away at the cannons. They're distracted, so they just die in the back, one hit in the back. And this room, it's RNG, which is really bad on solo, but on co-op it's manageable. That's not good, but it's not bad either. So they'll take these out in sync to make sure that nothing else spotted them. So if one of those enemies died before the other one did, then they would all become alert, which they became alert pretty early. So WoLfy got stabbed, that elite with a sword, one-hit kill. There's a couple grunts alive. There's that sword elite still, but he's gone. And you did notice Pedro backed up just to spawn WoLfy, because that sword elite, if the worst came to worst and that killed him, that's a revert. And it's just a lot safer to spawn the teammate in and lose a tiny bit of time than risk losing a lot of time. So Pedro's just ran ahead and left WoLfy, but WoLfy can just teleport to him, no problem. If one room is deloaded and someone's in that room, then they'll teleport on their player, which I don't think it's used much, but that's one example of where it's pretty handy. And the DMRs they juggled earlier to that door, they'll pick up, because they are that little bit stronger. They're just better. So this is the end of Long Night of Solace. And there's a lot of enemies that come out of doors, but they're always the same doors, and it's always the same enemies. So Pedro's got the plasma launcher from earlier, and there's always 4 jackals in there, and 2 jackals that spawn above him, which WoLfy has killed. Right next to WoLfy is an elite and some grunts, so he'll be taking those out, again, as soon as they spawn. Here, because Pedro's got plasmas, he'll be killing these grunts immediately before they can do any damage. And then Pedro's gonna have 2 elites to deal with that WoLfy doesn't have to deal with. So you can just backsmack both of them. Then they'll both way out of bounds, technically out of bounds, because an elite spawns in each corner. So they immediately kill those 2 elites. They'll charge the EMP and headshot the elite in the opposite corner, and it's almost always in sync, and that's what I love most about that. Now they're just waiting for George, the big guy, to come back. Oh, yeah, there's a glitch. You can get in that Pelican's turret and shoot it. I don't know, you're not meant to be in there, you can't see anything. And that's Long Night of Solace, one of the harder levels. We have time for a donation, whatever, at the start of this.
We got a pretty good one coming up. We have $500 from Marcus Leto. From the creative director of Reach, you are all amazing.
Wow.
Thank you. So this is Exodus. This is the 6th mission in the campaign. And one thing that's really interesting to note about this level in particular is with every elite they've fought so far, it's been a noob combo. So the overcharge of the plasma pistol and then a headshot of a precision weapon. This level has no elites. It's a lot of grunts. It's everything but elites. There's a lot of grunts, a lot of brutes, a lot of brutes. And one thing with brutes is they don't have shields. And you remember what I said earlier about the needle rifle? It has a cousin, the needler. And unshielded enemies, it kills really quick. So with the needle rifle, it's 3 shots, and with the needler, it's 6 shots. Also, them jumping over that gap wasn't for fun. That kills every grunt. Every grunt in this beginning section was a suicide grunt. Jumping over that gap blows them all up for some reason. So yeah, they each have a needler with all right ammo. And WoLfy's gonna shoot a few shots, and that just kills the brute. There's another brute up there, dead. Easy as. 3 brutes drop off, easy as. Like,
Just
the
clean
needler,
right through.
yeah, the needler is your best friend on this level. So Pedro's gonna go up to kill a couple grunts. there's always 4 grunts. There can be 1 where Pedro was, and there can be 3 where WoLfy was, or there can be, as there was, 2 and 2. But there's always at least 1, like in each area. With this, Pedro had an unlucky death. The brute's armor lock. Every brute in this level has armor lock. An armor lock, for those not familiar, is an armor ability. It's in matchmaking as well, which is why a lot of people don't like this game. When it's used, you're completely invincible. You can't move, but you're invincible. And every brute, if they've seen like needlers or a grenade, they can just armor lock, and then you have to wait. So they're killing every enemy, because every enemy except 1 can be alive. What they're gonna do. And you'll see Pedro's gonna press an elevator button. No, he's not. WoLfy's gonna press an elevator button, also through the wall. I don't know if you saw the prompt in the top right again, but looking like next to this painting, where he is now, the elevator you're waiting for, it's already there. And you can activate that elevator as soon as, like through the wall. Pedro's got unlucky. Those enemies, like 90% of the time despawn, but because they haven't, he's had to deal with those. And there's 2 phantoms dropping off enemies, and they're each gonna deal with 1 phantom. Pedro would usually help WoLfy, because there is a sniper rifle just at the other end where Pedro is. And he would take those to snipe the brutes near WoLfy. So they're each gonna deal with their enemies. Oh, Pedro unfortunately let 2 brutes live, I think. So as I said, 1 enemy can be alive. So he's gonna go kill at least 1 of those. Oh, the skirmisher lived as well. Yeah, so that's every enemy except 1. Pedro died again. WoLfy, what are you doing? Oh, okay. Psych. So yeah, this is the elevator that we're waiting for. That was already there. WoLfy picked up the gravity hammer, which is a unique weapon in a sense. It's a melee weapon, except when you swing it, it makes like an explosion, kind of. So in Halo 3, it's used a lot. So there's a trick in Halo 3 called box launching, where if you walk up to a box with a gravity hammer and swing the hammer, you just fly. You like launch the box into yourself and fly. They're possible in Reach, but they're just really, really hard. Like, you can sit there for like 20 minutes and get like 1 launch. Got stuck on each other. Pedro stole a rocket launcher from the Marine, and he can either get 3 or 4 shots in it. So he's got 3, which is, you know, the worst one you can get. Ideally, you would have 4. 3 is not bad. There is another rocket launcher coming up. This is also the first time in a game you see the jetpack. So what you would want to do is with your ODST squad, jetpack across all those like little buildings to go out to a bunch of enemies and fight those enemies. But one thing they didn't seem to account for was they left this little ledge that you can just walk around and skip every single enemy in this area. Now the reason I have to like take this kind of path is because if there's a trigger they miss, on this level, in this area in particular, and on this whole level in general, if they miss a trigger, they can soft lock incredibly easy. So that path they took, they hit every trigger. There's 1 trigger where the enemies in this area won't spawn. There's another trigger if they miss, then every enemy's invincible for whatever reason. Bungie's just like laughing. It's like, yeah, that none of them can die because you're cheating. So there's this whole section. They didn't add a trigger here, surprisingly. But there's this section, you're meant to walk all the way around. But with what they're both doing, you can just fly straight to the top. Pedro died. That's really not good, because now they're a rocket launcher short. Thankfully, those grunts at the door, 2 of them have Furod guns. WoLfy died as well. So plasma grenades, he got chain reacted, which is a very big thing in CE. So if if the explosion happens near some grenades on the floor, then they'll blow up the grenades on the floor, and if there's more, then they'll blow them up. It's like a domino effect. So from those grunts, because grunts usually drop plasma grenades, the explosives just detonated the plasma grenades, and that killed him. This area can be a little bit tricky, because where WoLfy's looking right now, there's a brute chieftain, which is a brute, but he has shields. And he's very tough. He has a Fjord as well. So Pedro had the plasma pistol to EMP him. But because he has a helmet, you can't really just like headshot him immediately. If they had a needle rifle or a needler, they could do it in like 3 to 6 shots. But it's not easy to have. Those shade turrets that WoLfy just killed, they like rapid fire so quick. For whatever reason, they just shoot so insanely fast. So you want to have the DMR so you can just headshot the grunts out of them, which blows up the shade turrets. And if you like kill the shade turret or kill the grunt, and then get in the shade turret just explodes and immediately kills you as well. Bungie just really didn't want you getting in those shade turrets. And now here's some Falcons, which we're not gonna fly in like the first level, but we're gonna get in the side seats with the turrets. This is a 3-minute auto-scroller, and you can't really speed it up. The only thing you can do is make sure you don't die. There's a lot of enemies, there's a lot of brutes, mainly, and banshees. Apart from that, there's not much else that can kill you. So while they're flying for a little bit, we can have some more donations.
I had a feeling that's where you were going. We have $250 from Colonel Burke. I always love Halo speedruns during GDQ. Looking forward to a great run. Rest in peace, George. $100 from Shale. This is one weird episode of Red vs. Blue. $20 from Project Duckus. Halo Reach is one of my favorite games. How did I never see 117? Good luck from the UK to all runners, and let's kick cancer's butt. Jay Arias donated $50 saying, just ran this game and the other Halos for Extra Life in November and used WoLfy and Pedrogas videos to learn Reach. Good luck on the run, guys. We have some follow-up donations. $15 from Fate of Reality. Here's 15 for mentioning Gunganir because that is one of my favorite helmets. Or ARG. I am I'm sorry. We have $25 again from Ninjara saying, as promised, another 25 for applauding and saying Halo to the awesome people behind the scenes. I keep misreading the hellos or halos as hellos, and then I'll see the pun and just choke over it. So good work on the Halo pun. Ninjara is also donating towards the Octopath Traveler hype. Let's see, we have $10 from Mr. Dino saying good luck to Pedro from the gas. I hope the run really goes well. This donation goes to Runner's Choice. $30 from Rem saying this is slowly but surely my favorite week of the year. Thank you for everyone for your awesome work and keep it up.
Just gonna have like one more if you have one more.
Yeah, we have $34.30 from Stickerboy90. Much love to the Waypoint community mod team and all the amazing community members who help make this game and community what it is. As always, thanks to everyone at GDQ for these charity streams each year. Great to see so many people come together for such a great cause. P.S. Covenant structure, kind of a big pylon.
So they're coming up to the end of the Falcon ride. So they didn't die, that's the main thing. That's the main goal. It's kind of hard to die. You can get like, there are like videos of people that have like blown up a Banshee and then a bit of the Banshee gets stuck in their Falcon and that just weighs it down slowly and slowly into the water and just kills them like that. One thing we're gonna hopefully pray for is a checkpoint immediately, so if something bad happens, we don't have to watch that again. WoLfy unfortunately got stuck in the Falcon for like 5 seconds. That's all right. It just happens. Like, we actually have no idea why. On solo, in the seat Pedro was in, there's a Marine in there, and just so we don't get stuck, we kill that Marine and take his seat.
It's a pretty mean thing to do.
Oh, it's a warm seat.
I know.
Can't fold him. So, again with the splitting up, there are 3 buttons here you need to press. And Pedro's gonna press 2 of them. He's pressed 1 already, and that Wraith is kind of scary. And he's gonna hopefully not get shot. The Wraith's chasing him, which doesn't happen often. And he's gonna fly up to the 2nd button. He's got a rocket launcher to kill a couple brutes. So there was, and he's pressed the 2nd button. Now WoLfy can, once he's dealt with this brute, press the last button, and that's it. That was a really solid Exodus.
Yep.
Sub 1 hour Exodus is a very good, that's a very respectable time, even for like going for a good run. So getting that in a marathon is really good so far. Going off a good level to one of the worst, New Alexandria. This level can take 8 minutes. And if you play like just as good, but you get unlucky, it can take like 15. This level is 100% RNG on Legendary. So they got really good RNG at the start. So this level, there's 3 big buildings. There's the hospital, there's a nightclub, and then there's Synovia, it's a building. It's called Synovia. But they got a hospital first, which is what they wanted. So the reason... I'm confused now. You're not taking the Banshee? No Banshee? Okay.
That's right.
Sometimes, I guess not now, on solo at least, they would take a Banshee, and they can just go straight through this whole section and not have to worry about any of the enemies. I guess the reason for no Banshee is they just didn't get a Banshee spawn, which sometimes happens. It's kind of unlucky to get that. If you get, that's also really unfortunate to have. Yeah, it's a revert. Okay, WoLfy is going for a Banshee now. If we can get the Falcon out. Having a Banshee to go through this area, even if there's not one that's spawned nearby, it's unfortunate it hasn't spawned nearby, but it's still most likely gonna be faster. It's just finding one. So this level is huge. This is by far, apart from like the space section on LNOS, this is by far the biggest level. Oh.
You missed it.
Hijacking a Banshee is really tricky. If anyone's ever tried to hijack a Banshee without jetpack on this level, you know just how like tough it can be. And without, there's like 3 or 4 Banshee spawns we like to go for. That's unlucky, isn't it? Yeah, there's like 3 or 4 Banshee spawns we like to go for, and if we can get one of those, because they always fly in like the same general path, it's hard to like improvise and get any Banshee. So they got really good luck getting hospital first, but they've got really bad luck because they didn't get a Banshee spawn. He got back in. What's also important to mention is the reason Pedro isn't going to get a Banshee is because he has a different Falcon. Oh, is because he has a different Falcon. So the Falcon WoLfy has, it has chain gun turrets, but the one Pedro has grenade launcher turrets, which are by far a lot stronger. And he's gonna abandon the Marine. Nope. One. So Pedro got out just as WoLfy reverted and didn't realize. Another reason WoLfy is going for it instead of Pedro is, apart from having the much stronger Falcon, Pedro also has the Marine in the Falcon, and the Marines will shoot the enemy Banshees and blow them up. Because it's the grenade launcher Falcon, it will take like 3 shots. And if you remember the grenade, yep, there it is. Or 4 shots, I guess. Yeah, and if you remember how fast it shot, and from what you saw there, it will just decimate any Banshee. And teammates, if he decides to aggro. If you kill 2 teammates within like 10 seconds, then they'll turn on you. Hey! So yeah, getting a Banshee is really hard to do. Like, even with like someone as good as WoLfy who spent days, like a month. I think like Reach tracks your campaign playtime, and I think his campaign playtime is like 50-something days, which is a lot. I don't know what Pedro has, but his is a couple months as well. And I know I have 32 days, I believe. So it's no matter like how much practice you get, that is still one of the hardest things to do. So this level, there's 3 jammers you need to destroy, that being the first one. WoLfy's gonna suicide to spawn on Pedro, because you only get the next objective once you get out that building. So instead of like going all the way back out, he can just suicide this one on Pedro. Now this is where the luck comes in again, because it's a 1 in 3 chance to get the building you want, but then there's a 1 in 12 to get a side. Hunters, okay. Then there's a 1 in 12 to get the side objective you want. So this level works is you got one big building, a side objective, another big building, another side objective, and then one last big building, and then you got the end of the level. So this is one of the best side objectives to get. There's some Marines getting killed by hunters, so they kill the Marines. Because killing the hunters and letting the Marines live, first off, we don't let Marines live in a Halo speedrun. That just never happens. The second off, if the Marines live, a Pelican needs to come, pick them up, and you just have to wait for that. This building's not bad to get. I think they prefer to get Synovia, which is the green building first, and then this one last. That's just because of the angle that they have when they leave the building. Going through this building's really easy on foot, but this and Synovia are really easy on foot, just because of the lack of enemies. I say that, there's like 12 hunters in here, but they're hunters, and you can just duke hunters incredibly easy. He just walks straight behind it. But he is going to die to the hunter, again, just to like get out. Nope, he dies to him sticking the hunter. So where Pedro's went, this is one of the side objectives you can get, which would be the best one to get right now. So he's just kind of hoping that he gets that side objective, and he's looking for a phantom spawn. If he sees that phantom spawn, then he can skip this whole side objective. But it's a 1 in 11 chance. Until evac op, okay. So yeah, until then, it's just waiting for dialogue, so then they know what side objective they get. This isn't a great side objective, but it's not the worst. The worst one is if you played ODST, you know there's a character in that game called Buck. And we hate Buck. Everyone in ODST is like, yeah, we love Buck. No, everyone hates Buck in Reach, because if you get his dialogue, his mission is an escort mission, and escort missions are kind of infamous in any game for being terrible. And it's like, there's a couple of different Bucks. There's like a Buck that takes 2.5 minutes. So that's the worst one to get. And then there's a Buck where you escort him, and then you have to kill a Phantom. But the thing is, you can just kill his Phantom, and that counts as the objective done. So, yeah, as Kat just said, this is the last jammer. This is the second last bit of the level. They're gonna send Pedro in on a suicide mission. He's gonna he's gonna go up the elevator, run to the jammer, and then teleport back out to WoLfy. So what WoLfy's done is he's just took the Falcon and abandoned him. No, he's took the Falcon and he's flew to the final part of the level. So once this jammer's destroyed, there will be 3 Phantoms, each carry 2 Shade turrets, or 2 AA turrets. And you need to kill all the AA turrets to end the level. But instead of killing the AA turrets, they can get the Phantoms as they spawn, and this is why the Grenade Launcher Falcon was so important. Because the Grenade Launcher Falcon just melts the Phantoms. With the Chain Gun Falcon, you'll be able to kill 1 Phantom. And that's like when it gets to the very top and just about drops off its the AA turret. So that's the second Phantom. But now they're gonna wait for this Phantom to drop off an AA turret. And that's because if they kill this Phantom too quickly, like before any Shade turret is dropped off, then you have a chance of like having to wait like a minute just for like dialogue to catch up. So once you see that red arrow appear, that's when you know you're safe. But as soon as the AA gun is dropped, AA turret, wow. As soon as the AA turret's dropped, you know you're safe. Or else we wouldn't be getting this dialogue right now. WoLfy. WoLfy. No! One interesting thing about the Falcon is if you're in the side seats, you don't full timer. And that's New Alexandria. That's one of the most RNG levels. We do have a time for a donation while this level's loading again.
Oh, this one's hot, okay?
Okay, I'm ready.
We have $25 from MC117. Seeing people master this game is a chief highlight of my day. I've been watching them beat a single game, but it's like they've already won 17. I'd feel guilty if this didn't spark a donation. Hey, low times are better. Thanks, MC.
That was,
I enjoyed that.
that's an A+. That's an A++ right there. Oh, wow. So this is the package. This is the second last level in the game. And it's the last two levels that are generally agreed to be the hardest, just because they're the most combat heavy. They are getting absolutely thrashed. That ghost doesn't usually shoot from that far away. If you're unlucky, he does. They needed to take him out, or else he would have followed. He usually just sits back. And this is the tank, Scorpion tank, which is the only time you see it in the campaign, unfortunately. It's a really good vehicle. And we take the tank instead of Pedro beginning the Revenant, which we saw on Tip of the Spear. Not for long, but we saw it. Just to move a bit faster and to be safer. Because one big advantage the Revenant has over the Ghost, which is the purple vehicle he was just in, is the Revenant's way more protected. There's a lot more armor on it. It can live a lot more, and it usually doesn't flip as easy. Yeah, and as we, the AA guns that we saw on Tip of the Spear again, there's two more. WoLfy has a tank. It takes 7 shots to kill it, but you're getting really unlucky with the EMPs, guys. Pedro might die. Pedro? Oh, no! Where he landed, he was home free. No enemies down there where he landed. That's unlucky. So you would have saw the inside of an AA gun, but that was a really unfortunate EMP to get. So Pedro's going to go back for the Revenant, because that's kind of... It just makes a later part a lot safer when you're driving through. So WoLfy needs to remember not to blow up the turret, the tower, with the grunts on. That's why he's waiting. Pedro's going to DMR these grunts. There's 2 grunts up there with Furod guns, which is really important because he wants to take them out because they will destroy the tank. Absolutely, like, just get rid of the tank. It'll cease to exist. But WoLfy doesn't want to blow it up because then the Furod guns in there would fly away. And they might land on the ground, they might not. So it's just safer to take the DMR, headshot the grunts. And that Furod gun will come into play. Very important a bit later on. So I don't know if you saw it, but WoLfy had 4 shade turrets he blew up, 3 or 4, and a Revenant. And now we'll open these gates. WoLfy will get in the Revenant this time instead of underneath it. And they'll go to the next bit of the level. They just got a checkpoint, which is nice. So this is why the Revenant's more important than the Ghost, because they can both make it through. Because if one person's going through, when your teammates spawn on you, they'll spawn in the middle and just get demolished by grunts on turrets. So Pedro's gonna throw some careful grenades to kill the enemies at top, while WoLfy just ran all the way up top and skipped everything. He has to be careful of a couple of enemies around that Pedro's grenades didn't quite catch. And a couple of jackals left in there. Okay. So one of the enemies that spawned in there had the Covenant sniper rifle, the focus rifle, and a shot from that, assuming it like all hits you. So it's like a giant beam. If that all hits you, that's it, you're dead, and then you have to go up again. So Pedro teleports on him again, and Pedro's gonna go for a really tricky jump off that little statue in the middle. Didn't get it. That's a revert. So Pedro needs to live because he has the Furod gun. In case they can't get this jump, yeah, I don't think they can get this jump. So this depends on like how aggro the enemies are, which sometimes it's fine, sometimes it's not fine. They're gonna try, oh, no, okay. This is gonna be weird, because now there's no Fjord gun. So one thing the Fjord gun, or the only thing the Fjord gun would have been used for, is blowing up some phantoms. But now we don't have that Fjord gun, it's gonna be a little bit trickier. We do have rockets in this area, and we do have a Spartan laser, which is a giant laser. You charge it for a bit, and it's a death ray. But you only have 4 shots of that, and there's 4 rockets. So having those Fjords means that we can kill more phantoms.
There are 4 defense turrets to assist you in defending the lab.
So we're not going to be able to kill as many phantoms. So this giant ice cave, not only does it look really pretty, but it is one of the harder areas. This is a lot of wave fighting. And one thing that's really important that gets done is they both get a Banshee. So Pedro's got his Banshee now. They both need one, so that's 1 of 2. WoLfy's got a grenade launcher, which can EMP, which he's going to use to his advantage. The Banshee's kind of high up, it's going to loop down.
They're landing out of range across the bridge.
I would have thought. Okay. Until WoLfy can get a Banshee, he's going to have to be on foot, which is really unlucky. Like, 99% of the time, both Banshees will, like, charge you. And, then you can take them both. So, this is a run killer. If you don't get any Banshees, especially on solo, if you don't get any Banshees, wow. So AI Banshee just one-shot Pedro. Yeah, so in solo, if you get no Banshees, if they decide to fly away, that's basically you're undead, especially on Legendary.
Got it.
WoLfy got it. Okay, that's great. That was needed. Okay, now they both have Banshees. I don't know if I've touched on it. Banshees have 2 weapons. They have their main cannons, and then they have a giant Banshee bomb, which is like a Fjord gun. It's a bit more stronger, I believe, but they use it to blow up the phantoms. So WoLfy's gonna like damage it a little bit with the Banshee bombs, and then Pedro got out with the rockets to blow it up. The reason we blow up the phantoms as well is this whole wave fight area. The next wave only comes in once all the enemies are dead, and the phantoms count as enemies. So there's 3 phantoms in this wave, there's 3 phantoms in every wave, and they all have to fly back out. So by blowing them up, it just saves the time of them flying back out, which it doesn't sound like a lot, but it can be like 20 seconds, like per wave. Unfortunately, because Pedro doesn't have a Fjord, they're gonna have to kill it with the Banshee. Hopefully the Banshee bomb it. Give it one last try. Yeah, perfect. So a lot of it is just mopping up, killing the enemies that I've got off the one Phantom that lived, killing the enemies that drops off that. And there's a Wraith that WoLfy's going for right now. This Wraith is very important. So WoLfy's gonna ditch his Banshee. He didn't have it for long, but it was definitely essential. And he's gonna blow off the top of the hood of the Wraith and kill the driver. No, not like that. You shoot him. Try again. Yeah, okay. Shoot with your fists, that's fine. So there's 3 Phantoms in this wave again, and WoLfy's gonna take out 2 of them. There's gonna be one that drops off right next to him, and there's gonna be one that drops off where the other one that Pedro only barely blew up. WoLfy's gonna snipe the AA gun, the Wraith gun, to where that Phantom lands, and it's 6 Wraith shots, sorry, to blow up the Phantom. So he saw the Phantom flying down, so he's gonna kill it. And while he's doing that, Pedro, that Phantom in specific has 2 ghosts on it. And if you kill one of the ghost drivers, there'll be a bunch of jetpack elites that spawn on the little bridge near WoLfy. So if you're the first Phantom, he's gonna get this Phantom easy. And now WoLfy's gonna get these jetpack elites. Now you might, like, it's weird, like, why would he kill the Ghost Driver to spawn some more enemies? But with those enemies, because they have jetpacks, usually they come out of the Phantom that had the Ghosts on. They'll drop down and they'll fly away immediately. But spawning them there, no idea. No one knows where they spawn there, by the way. But spawning them, so killing the Ghost Driver and spawning them, they don't move. WoLfy's stuck. That elite probably helped you out. Just kicked you, gave you a nudge. Yeah, by spawning them, those elites don't move. So, oh. That's a couple times now. So, Pedro's gonna get health because of unforeseen circumstance. And take the Mongoose. Because he unfortunately died, it's not too much of a problem because WoLfy had a Banshee, which he has since just abandoned. So he's gonna reclaim this Banshee. Because WoLfy's gonna stay in a Wraith for the rest of this level. So yeah, Pedro will just take the Banshee. Now this is a wave that you only get on Legendary and on Co-op. So this is like a bonus wave kinda, if you wanna put it like that. So WoLfy's gonna shoot this Phantom to stop these enemies coming down, blow that up. And this is a kinda tricky lineup, but he's gonna snipe another Phantom right near where Pedro is. You might see the shots just missed. Okay, so they're gonna have to adjust for that. But he's gonna blow up that Phantom, so then that one... I'm always worried that WoLfy's gonna shoot Pedro when he's just flying around him. Okay, doesn't look like he had too much luck with that, unluckily. So just killing that Phantom, it would save like a bit of time. Oh, he got it, okay, nice. And the last Phantom that they didn't blow up had some skirmishers and 2 hunters. So they're gonna just kill these hunters. And this is the last wave. Now with this last wave, there's only 1 Phantom that needs to be gone. Oh, it can deload if you get lucky, but they're gonna blow it up, which is guaranteed. So once they blow up this Phantom, none of the enemies are gonna drop from it, and then they can end the level. So while this is going on, we can have a few more donations.
Can do. We have a $30 donation from Sparkliness. Good luck, guys. We're all on Discord praying for no buck luck. And of course, did someone say HaloRuns.com? Good luck. $15 from Night Magenta. Halo was the first game I played with my dad back when we had to rent an Xbox. Because we could not save the game, my dad spent 46 hours straight beating the campaign one weekend. He's my hero.
I'm opening the laboratory door.
And we also have a $1,000 donation from Anonymous. First time watching live, so here's a bunch of money, because charity.
It's always a good reason. And that was the end of the package as well. So there's 1 level left. Also, probably one of the harder levels in the game. Mainly because of all the combat. There's a lot of fighting. It's very intensive with fighting. They're gonna go for a slide jump. I only briefly mentioned at the start. They're gonna go for a slide jump straight to an elite because he has a concussion rifle. And with the concussion rifle, we can do some cool jumps again. So there's 2 enemies in this whole level that have a concussion rifle. And one of them on easy, which it isn't like feasible to get because it's the toughest enemy in the game. It's called a Bob Elite. And they're golden elites. They spawn randomly. They have a lot of shields. Even on easy, you can't like EMP them. They still have shields. So let alone on legendary, I don't want to think about it. And then there's that one at the start. They're gonna have that concussion rifle for the whole level. And there's just gonna be a lot of driving until the first cutscene. So with this as well, there's gonna be some scarabs, there's gonna be a lot of grunts. If they flip, there's a chance that they can die. So he's gonna try as best he can to not flip. Those grunts that shoot the plasma pistols, their plasma pistols, like, they just disappear. The scarabs coming down have something to do with it. It's weird, but you can get EMP'd there. And they're both alive. See, that's another case of being teleported onto your teammate to just save a bit of time. Saves him like driving and then lagging behind the whole time. So there's a little bit more driving. There's no more enemies to kill until the cutscene. Oh, unless maybe one or two actually. It depends. There's some suicide grunts, and those grunts usually kill all their teammates near them. But if they don't, they might have to like headshot one. And the reason they want that is because the teammates, the enemies near those suicide grunts, they have needle rifles, and those are very important because unshielded enemies, 3-shot kill. So they're gonna get as much needle rifle ammo as possible, or WoLfy is gonna get as much needle rifle ammo as possible. And just like on Exodus, jumping over that gap, jumping off the edge there and shooting blows up the suicide grunts. So yeah, one lived. And if he's got 2 needle rifles and he's looking for the 3rd, which has probably been blasted away. It's not too bad. Oh, no, he's found it. Okay, just in time for the cutscene. So this is a really hard jump WoLfy's gonna do. It's a really hard, not guaranteed first try. And they both need to make the jump. Second try, that's really good though. And Pedro's gonna cheat. So what's unlucky is they got a checkpoint. They wanted to keep that checkpoint to do a armor lock launch like you saw on Nightfall. But because they got it when they did, they don't get another one. The reason you want a checkpoint, I don't think I've touched on, is getting a checkpoint, it removes like one type of damage from everything. Literally like enemies, teammates, whatever. Which is like collision damage. They're gonna go for it anyway. Okay. But yeah, which is collision damage. So you can't like splatter, you can't be splattered, and there's no full damage. There's full timer, which is if you're falling too long, but there's no full damage. So they're gonna go for this launch. It killed him. WoLfy went. WoLfy lived. You know, it's the wrong way. Not the right way to launch, but it works. They need to look for the concussion rifle now though. Okay. They're just gonna run through again. So Pedro needs to cheat one more time. Yeah. So one thing with these caves, the reason they've done that jump is they skip a trigger. Some drones are meant to spawn now. We haven't seen drones in this game, and we don't want to. They're really annoying to deal with. They are just like a one-shot headshot kill, but they fly around, they're really small, their heads are tiny. And in Halo 2, I don't think they have a head hitbox, so you can't even headshot them in Halo 2, which is awful. Thankfully, in Reach, there is a head.
This is Captain Keys at the pillar above.
So jumping over that trigger, there's just no drones, so they can run through. Because they couldn't do the armor lock launch, they're just gonna take the normal route. Again, with that launch, it doesn't save like a lot of time. It just looks really cool. And the big reason they were going for it is style points, I guess. So, yeah, WoLfy dropped the rocket launcher, so now Pedro has 6 rockets in reserve, and he instead took the laser. It's really important because just like on the last level package, there's gonna be more phantoms that they blow up. And that shade turret, just because he doesn't like that one, I guess. Oh no, there's another laser, so he still has a 100 laser. So yeah, WoLfy's gonna run through. Pedro's gonna teleport onto him when he gets through this door. And now it's a weird trigger they're gonna skip. So this trigger takes up most of the room, but not all of it. So WoLfy's gonna take a weird old path, and Pedro done some jumps with the concussion rifle. So this comes straight to this top area. WoLfy's had to take the slower route because he doesn't have a concussion rifle. Which it's still fine. It's before we done the concussion jump, before we even knew it worked, because we thought you'd still hit a trigger. That's the route we did. And WoLfy's gonna have to wait a little bit. Unfortunately, there's no co-op bring your buddy towards you kind of trigger in this little area. There is like at the end of it. And where Pedro's at right now, there's gonna be some skirmishers and a hunter. 2 hunters, sorry. That's the trigger they skipped, just because... Nice ninja. Yeah, just because killing those hunters, it's a pain. And this is one of the things in the game where, oh, you didn't load the enemies, so that door's meant to open, and you go through the door, but they put a window there, and you can jump through the window. You just fit through the window with a well-timed jump crouch. So in this room, few jackals, there's an invisible elite with an energy sword. So they want to find him. He's on the ground floor. He's always on the ground floor. WoLfy will probably ninja him just because more style points. If they find him. Oh. Okay. Nope, okay. No ninja. You got the ninja on the other elite, that can compensate. So going up here, there is another strat they could have done if they got a good amount of concussion rifle ammo. But unfortunately, I think they got the worst ammo you could get. But if you get something that's not the worst, there's another concussion rifle jump you can do. So then you wouldn't have to fight those enemies. Now we're coming up to where the concussion rifle really shines. And one of the best, like in my opinion, one of the best co-op tricks on this, well, in this game. Definitely on this level, but maybe in this game as well. So Pedro's dropped the concussion rifle to give it to WoLfy. And Pedro's gonna wait. He's not gonna go too far forward. He's right in front of a trigger to start the rest of the level. Because in this bit of level, it's more wave fighting, but there's 2 phantoms, 2 phantoms, 2 phantoms, instead of sets of 3. So WoLfy's gonna go for a kind of tricky concussion rifle jump. Nice. And he's done it once, and he's gonna have to do it again if he has enough ammo for it. I don't think he does. No, he's only got 3 shots. So now Pedro's hit this trigger. WoLfy can get in this mat cannon, which you're not meant to get into until literally the last minute of the game. But he's got into it way earlier than he should have. And wow. Because of that, he can kill some phantoms. Pedro unfortunately died, so he's gonna have to go back and get his weapons back. Because I'm not too sure the last time they got a checkpoint. As I said, checkpoints can be brutal. Because WoLfy was one-shot doing a concussion rifle jumps, they wouldn't have got a checkpoint because he was in danger as the game saw it. So Pedro's gonna have to kill this enemy, and then he's got the rockets, and this phantom, it's the only phantom they don't blow up with the mat cannon. That's why they have the laser and the rockets. So if he gets a couple lasers in, Pedro puts all of his rockets in it, and that phantom's especially important to blow up because it has 2 brute chieftains. One has a hammer, one has a Furod gun. And now it's the last phantom there, and that arrow means that whole wave fight's done. There's one of the hardest sections of this game for anyone to do. On a casual playthrough, that is one of the toughest sections, mainly because there's no weapons to use. But Bungie, for some reason, where WoLfy is now, this weapon crate, it's not always there. It's inside a wall. That wall WoLfy's looking at, it's inside there. The only way to get it out is to walk up to that wall and punch it, and then the weapon crate pops out. Sometimes, if you're unlucky, the weapon crate can just launch out, fly across the map, and the only good weapons in this whole area, you now can't reach. If you don't have that, you're stuck with shotguns, assault rifles. Nothing you want to, close quarter weapons when you don't want to be close with those types of enemies. So yeah, if WoLfy had the right amount of concussion rifle ammo, so you only had 3 unfortunately, you need 5. 4 if you're a god, but 5 to be safe. Then he could do the jump he'd done before to get back up, but it's fine. He just ran through. Just the YOLO run, this is called. Because on solo, it's tough, but it's possible. Now this is the last minute of the game, so we're coming up on time in the next minute. But with the zealots, there's quite a few zealots here. WoLfy's got one. Pedro's noob comboing them. They're both noob comboing them. just to kill those zealots. And if WoLfy did the concussion jump that he could have done, or if he had the ammo, only one zealot he would have to fight. Only one zealot like comes up to him. The rest sit at the bottom for some reason. So this part, it's just waiting. You're meant to be in a mat cannon blowing up these phantoms, but Pedro, the brave soul he is gonna run down and distract all those phantoms so they're not focused on WoLfy. And then once the, on WoLfy's screen, that little red dot that's going towards the center, once that reaches a certain point, WoLfy's gonna hop in a mat cannon and shoot it, and then that will be the end of the game. So he's coming up to it. So time is in 3, 2, 1, time. That is a very, very respectable run for a marathon, especially.
Are we able?
That was really good.
Oh yeah,
Solid
yeah, it
run.
was good.
Yeah. A bit of rough start, but
Yeah, New Alexandria with the Banshees. Oh,
Nightfall.
yeah.
The main reason that the runners weren't commentating as much is because there's a lot of coordination they had to do. There's a lot of, oh, we need to do this, we need to do that, and talking over each other while like explaining what's going on. It would have been tricky.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's the reason they weren't talking a whole lot, but it was important for the run to be as good as it was, definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to shout out all the Spanish community on the Spanish restream. Like last GDQ, I was there in the restream, and now I'm here. So yeah, a big shout out to the Spanish restream and all the Spanish community on speedrunning.
Shout outs to BK for that last level, because he only runs Pillar of Autumn.
Yeah, he only plays that.
What else? Shout outs to Halo Runs. Recently, Halo Runs added a new section to his website, and it's cooperative. So you get to use, you get to speed run cooperatively and submit your times on there.
Yeah, before that, co-op was tracked on speedrun.com. It's been worked on for months by the site admins, so thank yous like Backflip, Nibre, I know they worked on it a lot, and everyone that helped test it when it was still in its testing stages. Yeah, now we have co-op, and it's great.
Yeah.
I also want to give a huge thank you to Vork from the Halo mod team. He's done a lot for the Halo Runs community. He's done a lot of like helping. A lot of the reason why developers like know all about a lot of the speedrunners is because of him. As well as Pro Ace Joker, he's definitely done a lot as well, like to help get Halo Runs out there. But yeah, it's huge thanks to those two.
Yeah.
And HaloRuns.com, of course. Where all the
Yeah.
Halo speedruns are.
Visit
Yeah.
HaloRuns.com.
Yeah, we have a Discord as well. If you want to get into Halo speedrunning, we have a channel for each game. Just go in there, talk to us. We're pretty friendly, apart from Pedro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you once again, WoLfy and Pedrogas, for your awesome Halo Reach run. Let's go ahead and clear out some of these donations. We still got a few puns. $10 from Rubber Ducky saying, looks like Octopath Traveler is within reach. Let's hammer it, guys. And I just want to say that Octopath Traveler is about $7,000 from being met. It is being run after The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. We've got one more run before we can actually hit that incentive and get the run in. So we got to get those donations in. We do have a sensible donation from Sensible Sidekick for $25 saying, I need that Octopath run like I need air. Take my money. Also, great job to the runners, behind the scenes, crew, and announcers. A+, friends. And we are here at Awesome Games Done Quick 2019 raising money for the Prevent Cancer Foundation. As we are every year at this point. The Prevent Cancer Foundation is the only US-based nonprofit organization solely dedicated to cancer prevention and early detection. Their mission is saving lives across all populations through cancer prevention and early detection. Their vision is to stop cancer before it starts. We have a $25 donation from Miss Jella saying, donating during the Halo Reach run because it's bringing back all the good memories killing those grunts. Have a good run, guys. Keep up the good word. Truth Reclaimer donated $100 saying, so glad Halo Reach made it into this year's GDQ. One of the best campaigns of the series. Let's beat cancer together. I'm ready. How about you? Retro150 donated $10 saying, always good to see a Halo run. Getting to watch the runners tear through the Covenant with the speed and efficiency of a true Spartan. We have a $100 donation from Paul Dev. Last one for me. All the best, WoLfy and Pedrogas. Thanks once again, GDQ, for consistently a fantastic event. A+ would buy again. We'll be back after a short break. Welcome back. We have a $150 donation from Elevnution. As I do every GDQ, I need to make sure my donation is during the Halo run. No clever punter story, just waiting to see my least known speedrun for Halo done quick. This is Big Honkin' Burger signing off for now. I'm gonna go ahead and pass it to KungFuFruitcup over at the interview lounge.
How's it going? KungFuFruitcup here. I am hanging out with Murmilio, who is getting ready to do his Octopath Traveler run as soon as we fulfill that incentive, guys. So we really want to see this run happen. It is a very, very cool speed run and game overall. So I want to get a little bit of information from Murmilio about it. Hello.
Hello, everybody.
So you are running Tressa in this, which is one of the main 8 characters. So you can start as any character you want out of the main 8 in the game, and then collect as many of the others as you go along. But you'll just be running with Tressa.
Yeah, so the way the single story categories work is you start with whoever category you're running as. So for the run, we'll be doing Tressa. And you can pick whichever of the 8 characters you want in order to beat the game. And it's a little different for every story. But for this one, it's pretty set in stone. We just have like the fastest optimal.
Right, of course, she's
ones.
going to be the fastest. But is she your favorite?
I'm a big fan of Primrose. I'm a sucker for good stories, especially in RPGs. But Tressa is pretty good as well. I know she's like a fan favorite for most people as well.
Yeah, she's adorable. But I do agree that I really like Primrose's story. It's deep. It's definitely deep. So what about people who would want to get into this for the first time? Because it's an RPG that I would say has a bit of a difficulty spike through it, and it's a little bit different from the kinds that we've been seeing lately. So for somebody who wants to start this casually or get into the runs, maybe join the community, what advice do you have for them?
Well, so like if you are trying to get in the run, it's really easy. There's a lot of resources. There's a Discord, the speedrun.com website, a lot of guides and routes for it, and everyone will help you. But I think I agree there is a difficulty curve, and the main way to get past that is to just make sure you understand the battle system. Like throughout the run, we'll be able to manipulate a lot of turn orders and pick whichever character we want to go and do as much damage as possible and survive.
Mm-hmm. And it sounds like the community's pretty active, isn't that right?
Yeah, there's a lot of people, and for every different character too, that they constantly come out with new route changes and new ideas for it, and it's really active. It's been active ever since it came out. There's the demo that came out. People started speedrunning that, and it just kept going from there.
Mm-hmm. That's right. The demo it's free, isn't it?
Yeah, the demo is free. I believe it's still on the Switch eShop if people would like to try it out first before buying the full game.
It's essentially like playing the beginning of the game, so you can pick any character.
Yes, there's 4 chapters, and it gives you a few chapter 1s you can pick from, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay, that's awesome. So then I know that you've also been not only playing Octopath, but you like to play an arrangement of different RPGs, like a lot of Mario games, like Paper Mario, Mario and Luigi. What got you into RPGs specifically?
Well, when I was a youngster, my brother was the pro gamer in our family, you could say. So I'd always just play his older games, and so like the first games I played were like SNES RPGs, like the Mario RPG, Chrono Trigger, and from there, they've always just been my favorite.
Cool. I totally feel that. I'm also the youngest and grew up playing games like that too. That's really fun. Yeah, RPGs are just so much fun in general. But we also want to get a little time in for some social media questions because we got some good stuff. From @ForestTemples asks, Murmilio, I have to ask this. Octopath Traveler has one of the best soundtracks in not only recent gaming history, but of all time. I did try to learn some on piano. I think it's so good. Did you have any favorite of your tracks for yourself?
I'm a sucker for like guitar, like slow guitar, emotional guitar for music. So I don't know the specific situations that the game plays it, but like after chapter 1, some sad moments, it has this slow moving guitar, and I really like that one. That's definitely my favorite. And other than that, the boss battles are also a good time.
Boss battles are really cool. I like how the battle music also changes depending on the difficulty of the game. That's really cool as well. We also have at Verx IT Mathman, I'm sorry if I butchered that, asks, how different are the speedruns of each path?
The speedruns are, since there's all 8 characters, it's such an open game, there's so many routing possibilities. In general, there's like a set route, like what you want to do, and then just beat all the chapters. But there's so many different ways. Like I think there's a run for every single character where every character can be used. So there's different combinations for 4, and then of course they all have different boss fights with ranging difficulties. So there's a lot of cool different strategies you won't necessarily see in my run, but with like if you do a Primrose run, you'll be able to see it, and that's like really great for the game speedrunning wise.
I think we've got time for just one more quick question. At Stitch Panda asks, which secondary job is most useful in your speedrun?
I think merchant is probably the best job overall, especially in the speedrun. There's some super secret jobs that you get later on, but for speedrunning purposes, merchant's the best. That's one of the reasons Tressa is so fast, because you have her instantly.
I'd say hired help would be good too. That's
hired
always
help
been
is
something I've liked
the
to do.
main thing for damage.
You guys will see if we can get that run in. We are getting very close to fulfilling that incentive, guys, so let's make it happen. All right, I really appreciate talking with you today. Best of luck on the run. We know it's going to happen.
Thank you.
All right, looks like we're going to be heading over to Cent for some more prize information now.
Our Cent's going to be heading over
Or maybe
to you,
he's like right here.
Either way. How are you guys doing?
Hi, we're good.
Oh, that's great. Yeah,
How are you?
Kung Fu, like you were mentioning, we are really close to getting Octopath Traveler into the marathon. We're, I believe, about 55,000 out of the 60,000 we need. Guys, we've already raised
That's like
500
$3 grand in the last 5 minutes.
Oh, yeah, no, of course. Like, we already raised $526,000 for charity, which is amazing, by the way. That's incredible. Yeah, give some applause to that, audience. Come on. That's an incredible pace. It's all going to PCF, an amazing charity. But I want to see that number hit 530, and I want to see all those donations go towards getting Octopath Traveler in the marathon. So Murmilio, we can see that run.
I agree.
That game, that game really hit me right here. Absolutely loved it. And guys, to talk about some prizes that you could win for getting those donations in and getting them in towards Octopath Traveler, I hope. Let me tell you some good stuff. Everything we're talking about now is from now until the end of Twilight Princess, which is our next run. So you're going to need to get those donations in during that run if you want a chance to win any of these amazing prizes. Hold on. I apologize, guys. I forgot to mention, this prize segment has been brought to you all by Donkey Kong sneaking up behind me and making an obnoxious noise. No. Are we? Did we not get the guy in the Donkey Kong suit? No. Okay. All right. Apparently it was too expensive. I apologize, guys. We're just going to skip that gag. Let's go to the prizes. First up from our friends over at Star Salts, we have this beautiful WoLflink enamel pin. WoLflink is a good doggo. That is fact. This is a good pin. $5 minimum donation from now until the end of Twilight Princess. Make sure to get that in. So from our good friend, Kari Fry, I talked about it earlier. Happen to have a copy of it right here for you. We have the beautiful Banquet of the Wild book. I love Kari's art. It's adorable. And, Banquet of the Wild has all of her wonderful depictions of Breath of the Wild food and characters and locations. Here, let me see if I can open it up to a nice spread for everyone. Here's some fish. Everyone loves fish. Delicious fish. Guys, it's a $5 donation for now until the end of Twilight Princess. And again, I love this. Oh, right, and I almost forgot. Well, the one thing I think is amazing about all of Kari's books are, well, first off, the actual cover is beautiful. Wow. That's so nice. But there's always a little something special on the inside of the cover. In this case, it's going to not be possible to see on stream, but it's a recipe list for Breath of the Wild. So if you ever need a cheat sheet, you can just...
Yeah, so everything in the book relates to all the dishes in the game.
Exactly, yeah.
It shows you how to make them all in
the
game.
And her depictions of them. It's absolutely beautiful.
That's so cool.
So from our good friend Imsan, we have this lovely Spirit Tracks themed watercolor. You got the whole Spirit Tracks crew here. I'm going to be perfectly honest. Spirit Tracks is, I think, the one Zelda game I skipped out on, and I regret it every time. I keep going back like, I should play this game. I really should play this game. I have yet to play it. I will, I promise one day. Again, this is $5 minimum donation for now until the end of Twilight Princess. I love the style, love the water. This is done in a watercolor, by the way. Watercolor on paper. Looks super cool. I'll make sure to get those donations in. And from our friends over at Studio Pen Pen, speaking of watercolor, we have this beautiful collection of watercolor rupees. You got all the relevant colors of rupees. You got your somewhere here, you got your 1 rupee, your 5 rupee, your 20 rupee, your 50 rupee, and your 100 rupee. We don't have silver rupees here. Like I said earlier, we're not opening any secret doors. Unfortunately, the backdrop doesn't pop open to reveal a dungeon or anything. That's, we call it the prize dungeon or something. I don't know what item you'd get in there. I don't really want to know. There are plenty of them.
Yeah, I have a feeling it's not a silver rupee, but I think that collection's really nice.
For sure. So we have this beautiful BlizzCon 2018 loot bag from our own Muffins, part of the GDQ staff. Huge shout outs to her. It comes with all kinds of super fun stuff. It was given away to the attendees at BlizzCon 2018. You get a book, you get a Ravenlord crest magnet from Heroes of the Storm, you get a Diablo figure who's kind of like a little bit opposable, looks super cool. You get some Hearthstone magnets, and you get a World of Warcraft faction keychain. Now, I asked Keys earlier what faction he belonged to. KungFu, I'm gonna have to do the same for you. Is it Alliance or Horde? Good answer. All right, thank you very much. We'll go with that.
What do you think? What do you think?
Well, the crowd just screamed for the Horde, so we're going to go with that.
Sure.
For the Horde it is. $10 minimum donation from now until the end of Twilight Princess. Make sure to get those donations in. And guys, we have all kinds of amazing prizes in addition to that. We have beautiful Midna wood burning from She Games, He Games. Absolutely looks great. You're going to want to head over to our tracker to see a picture of it. $15 minimum donation from now until the end of Twilight Princess. We also, behind Murmilio, have this amazing signed copy of StarCraft II Legacy of the Void. It's signed by some devs, maybe 30 or 40 of them. It's super cool. And it is a $30 minimum donation from now until the end of Twilight Princess. Seriously, that, again, when we got that, I was, it's signed by a dev or two. Okay, that's cool. Oh, like the entire dev team.
It's covered. That is covered in signatures.
Both sides of it and the inside of the box.
What, both sides?
Oh, yeah. Wow. Signed on the back, too. And guys, don't forget, all of those donations are going to start getting you in to win a chance to win our grand prize, which is a beautiful replica Hylian Shield and Master Sword by our good friends over at Heroic Replicas. They're one-to-one replicas of the swords and shields used in Breath of the Wild. I'm going to lean back so you guys have an opportunity to take a look at them. Look at this thing. This thing is over 3 feet long and is full metal. It is beautiful. It's heavy. It's a solid like 10, 15 pounds. It's a $250 minimum donation, and I know what you're saying. That's a lot, but remember, it's all going to charity, and it's cumulative. So that means, hey, you donate maybe $20 now, you donate maybe $20 later, you donate $100 on Saturday, and bam, you got a chance to win these amazing, unique sword and shield replicas. And guys, I think that's just about going to do it for us. Kung Fu, thank you so much. And as a reminder, guys, you can always head over to GamesDoneQuick.com. You can check out the tracker. It's going to have all the information you... Ah! Why? Let's just throw it back up to the front for Twilight Princess. I got the Donkey Kong's attacking me.
Thanks so much, Sent and Kung Fu. This is Yellow Killer Bee, and you are watching